I'm sorry that I'm coming to you in a not so cheery mood. I'm going to give an update about my son with his broken femur and what's going on and all of that. If you've been keeping up with our YouTube channel, you would know what had already happened. But I'm just going to basically give an update on this. Hopefully a pretty short video, because I'm not so much in the mood to make videos these days and stuff, of course. Alright, so basically, to give a quick recap and everything, if you haven't watched any of the previous videos, my little man, he had an ingrown toenail, a pretty severe one, and pretty much stuck in a situation to where we were afraid that if we got any kind of surgery or anything done on that toe, that we would end up with what ended up happening anyway. He has a broken femur, and so I question maybe if he had weakened it the week before he fell in the tub as well, and so I question maybe if he might have weakened the femur bone then. I didn't think about that when I was talking to the people about, when you have to give your story and stuff. Anywho's, and so he basically had fell and everything and broke his femur, and now he's in a rehabilitation / nursing home. They're wanting to keep him there only a few weeks. My concern with that is I do not want him falling again, and he still has an ingrown toenail. I'm going to try to push to see maybe if for a few months or however long this takes, let his femur heal while he's in there, and then I want to get that ingrown toenail worked on, let that heal, and then go from there. See if he's able to walk with ease, things like that. Problem is it's put a delay on our naturally recovering autism program. We haven't been on it for a while now, and I'm hoping somehow, some way to get back on it, but the problem is I'm going to have to make it taste so good, because beforehand I was able to bribe him with rewards and things like that for drinking it, and soon I'll be adding the diet and all that as well. That's what I was hoping for. So I would have been doing the same kind of thing. Well, I don't really have much to bribe with while he's in there, and so I'm going to somehow have to make everything taste so good that he is going to want to drink it or eat it, and hopefully quick enough while we're there. I don't know what else to do, and so I'm hoping maybe if I can figure that out and get us back on the naturally recovering autism with the elixirs, herbals, and all that, the drinks part along with the diet, maybe there'll be some progress with his healing, as well as hopefully maybe he'll have more coordination and things like that, because it does work on the coordination and everything as well. So I'm hoping this will help in many ways fix some of the things while we're waiting to get him home. Thankfully, he's literally down the road from us, which is fantastic. Problem is that having to get there daily to be able to do this 2 times a day. And I would have to actually fix him 3 meals, because I'm sure they use a lot of milk and a lot of different, GMO products and things like that, of course. This is not a organic, type of nursing home and all of that. So that's where also I'm going to be learning, and I will probably be sharing in videos when the time comes, because like I said, I don't know when I'll be getting back to these. But I know, for instance, like asparagus, I grow some myself, and it does not get pesticides, and you don't have to spray it with you don't have to spray it with pesticides and stuff. So that's one of the natural type food that you don't have to get, that's organic, even though they don't sell it in a organic form. But that's just a perfect example of what I'm trying to say, is that there's certain foods that they say that you don't have to get it in organic, and it helps to save money. I got to learn all that stuff, and so that's one example is asparagus. Anything that is heavily sprayed with pesticides and things like that, that's the stuff you want to kind of stay away from. However, from what I understood back then when this all first started, the reason why we also chose organic foods was because they used purified water, their soil was organic, and it was a bunch of different methods that had to be a specific way, done a specific way, for it to be considered organic. I don't know if that still holds true or anything about all of that, because it's been years since I've checked into that. So, but that was part reason why we were told also to stick to organic. So yeah, so that's pretty much the update of what's going on. As far as me, I'm still pretty much to be honest, in a shock. This really has been very traumatizing for not only him, for sure, but for me too, because we've never been separated like this ever. He's always lived with me, and literally the only time was when he went to school. That was it. He's been with me ever since. This is the longest we've been apart. He's upset at me because he doesn't understand why mommy can't stay with him like I did at the hospital. Nursing homes, they don't have the room, and they have for him, he's got somebody in the next bed with him in the same room. So I'm not able to stay there, and so I know he's not understanding, and he wants time alone with me. The problem with the time alone with me is mommy will let me do some bad things. I want to take mommy here, and I want to take mommy here without the nurses stopping me. And so that's what he wants to do, and he's mad at me because I'm not letting him do that as well. But the first day, or the next day, we went to go visit him, and they tried him on a wheelchair. And we went to go visit him, and all of a sudden he's just scooting down the hall by himself after he got done eating, holding a drink. And so he's just scooting around like he knows what he's doing, which is an added plus. The nurses say they keep him up there with them in that little section area. So it kind of helps them keep an eye on him, but it also helps him to observe everywhere, because he loves to observe. But he wants to be in the distance watching people. So he's able to sit there, and he's got the different corners, because that's the middle of the building. And his room's literally right there by it too, which is very helpful. And so you got, I think it's 4 hallways, if I'm correct. And so being at the center, he's able to see every action from every angle. So I'm very glad that they're doing that with him, keeping him there. The surgery and everything, it did scare me, because the first night and a half that's why I didn't want him to have surgery ever again, because he had a teeth surgery. They had to do anesthesia, and he nearly died on me that time. And so I was scared to death this time, which he was doing the same kind of thing, not breathing well and all of that. Scared me to death. I'm scared also with everything that he's had to take. They had to give him strong drugs, of course, like morphine and things like that, which is, I'm pretty sure, not very good at all for this naturally recovering autism. I don't know how far all this stuff has set him back. That's my concern also, that somehow I'm going to have to get out of a system. There's nothing that can be done. He had a broken femur. So I can't sit there and say, okay, let my poor child suffer in pain, He had to have some sort of relief. I was upset because it took them so long, and being a special needs child, not understanding that he had a broken femur, and he's sitting there trying to fight to get out of bed and all kinds of stuff, and it was just a major mess. Even after the surgery, he was trying to do the same thing. He definitely kept me on my toes. I just lost so much sleep and everything. I had to I made sure, like, one night I had to put him because he kept wanting on the couch where I was sleeping at. It was something new. Wherever mommy is, he likes to copy and learn that way too, so he wanted on the couch. So the first night after the surgery, I was like, look, y'all, he's going to have to sleep here. It'll help hold him, in place. And they're like, well, he has to be in the bed, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. I don't want to disrespect their procedures and things like that, like how it has to be. And so, but I was like, for me to get a little bit of peace of mind, to get a little bit of sleep, to be able to keep an eye on him, I really need him on this couch like he's wanting right now. So therefore, I know that he's not just hopping out of bed like he had been trying to do. And so that night we were able to do that. And but the poor thing, it took a while. Like, he does not want to revert backwards. He does not want to use the potty in the diaper. Does not want to. And so, but he's having to learn slowly. Took a few days for him to do number 1. Took him another few days to do number 2. But he was fighting the whole time, like, I'm not going to use it. I want to use the potty, and trying to get out of bed for that too. It just, and then the stuff, like a thing that happened too. And I understand that they're all busy, and I understand, the way things are happening over at the hospitals and stuff. But at the same time, this was like totally, one of the nurses I know was ignoring, or at least a few was ignoring our calls. I ended up where if I had all the diapers, the pads, and all the stuff that was needed for changing and everything, I was changing the diapers myself. The times that I didn't have it, I had to call on them. And I wish they would have just stockpiled me so I could have just kept doing it myself. There was times he was enjoying the attention, so he wanted to keep calling them and wanted them to change his diaper. So there was only a few times, I was like, well, I can't keep him from not having things, so let me at least a few times let him do that, And so, but that helped a little bit. But yeah, so I had to keep changing his diaper. But one of the main bad times was his physical therapist was like, look, I'll be back in an hour, near 2 hours, by the way. And let's let him sit up. Let's let him eat in the chair. And she was like, are you going to be here? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, just call, Paige and everything if you need me. And I was like, they've been kind of ignoring my calls. So she leaves and everything, and so we're sitting there, everything's going great, and then the poor baby, because he had been holding it in, not wanting to potty, that was his first time to do number 2. So he ends up doing number 2, literally about a minute after she leaves. I was like, oh dear Lord, I can't pick him up, he's dead weight, because I kept doing that the first few nights, because as long as I'm on this naturally recovering autism program, I have so much strength, I feel good, I feel so much better, trust me. Since it had been days and everything that I hadn't been able to take it, I was starting to feel the weakness. I used to shake real bad when I didn't eat and everything. And so I was starting to get to that point again. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, great. So now it's starting to not be in my system as it was. Anyway, and so poor baby ended up having to sit there for near 2 hours. I tried calling and calling and calling. Nobody came. I could not pick him up to change him. I couldn't do anything about it. And so finally when they came back, she came back and somebody else came. I think it was the caseworker or whatever that handed me numbers to call to find what place that he could get into next, which is this one, the nursing home / rehabilitation. I was trying to keep my cool and everything together, but I'm sitting there shaking, crying, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, but he's been sitting here like this for way too long. He's got to get out of here, because he had already, near like the last 30 minutes, because she had the leg thing propped up too. He scooted at the end of that, and thank goodness that it did not collapse and him fall to the ground, because that would have made things worse. He definitely was protected for sure on that one. It had just been one bad thing like that after another, after another, after another. The nurses complaining. The first weekend we got there, I think it was Thursday, that weekend, the janitors. One basically called in saying, I'm not coming to work. The other one said, okay, well, I'm leaving work. And that whole weekend, no trash was taken out, no mopping, no cleaning, no nothing. A lot of the nurses were sitting there, unfortunately, complaining. So it looks to me a lot of people are burnt out, of course. I mean, come on. Look at the job that they're doing. They're burnt out. Everybody's fighting amongst each other. No matter if it's a nurse, if it's janitor, this, that, the other. Even the food, I noticed that the food was getting delayed more and more. So they were probably fighting as well. I pray and hope that they're able to all get this situation, straightened out and everything. And nurses need to be given, and janitors, everybody that's working up there need to be given some time off, some breaks, so everybody can start coming back together, hopefully. Because, I could just imagine how rough. You're literally on your legs nonstop, running from patient to patient to patient, and the janitor's kind of the same thing, from room to room to room to room, so that's definitely a burnout job for sure. And I'm hoping even with, enough pay for them, I don't know. But a lot of them will say too that nursing homes and things like that, it's more of a family oriented type atmosphere and things like that too. And I could tell that it definitely seems like that too. Anywho's, I'm just trying to think of anything else that's pretty much happened, whether it was in the hospital or in the nursing home. The nursing home, I don't have too much to say because we can only go up there and visit, basically. And my hopes is once I get back on my feet, and because I'm trying to as quickly as I can, but I don't want to push it and then not thoroughly recover emotionally and mentally and all of that. So I'm trying to take my time at it to be able to do things hopefully successfully and in the right type of way for him and stuff. So I'm hoping that it's going to end up where probably 2 times a day I will have to go up there, or hope that some of the nurses and them who feed him will work with me and at least try to give him all of the drink or the food or whatever. We'll see. I just really hope that we can get that to work. What else? I'm going to pause it, think on it, and then if not, I'm going to end the video and go ahead and start uploading it. One cute thing, though, is the nurses were talking about how he liked to flirt, and he would sit there and smile and the way that he was acting and everything, and laughing, giggling and all that whenever these young nurses his age or a little younger or a little older he would be flirting with and stuff. And so I was like, that's cute, that's something that, as he did, he came down that hall the first night, like I said, because that's where he was at when the nurse had told me about him flirting and all of that. He came down the hall so excited and stuff, and it was very cute. So that was another, at least some sort of cute little factor. I know that hopefully over time it's not going to affect him and me as much, that hopefully he can adjust to being there for a little bit, and me as well, accepting him there. It's been rough. Like, this is something that, and like with my little man, like if you're into spiritual type things too, like me, he's either a soulmate of some sort with me or something definitely on a deep soul level. When it's on a deep soul level like this, it's a much different bonding than just child and mother. I don't know how else to explain it, but same thing like with my brother. I felt the same vibe from him. My brother who had passed away. It's just a specific type of, I don't know. It's something that, like, I know that everybody has felt that way, at least at some point in their life. Like, oh, there's some sort of connection here. The way that this feels, it feels a little different than the usual. You know, everybody has at least experienced what I'm talking about. And whether it's your own child, whether it's a cousin, whether it's a family member, a friend, somebody you don't even know, you know, somebody on TV. It don't matter where, we've all somehow at some point have felt that way. And we've felt the different types of connections as well. So, that's the best way I can say it. And so it's been really, the first night I got here, first 2 nights at least, but especially the first night, without my little man. And that's what made it worse, is because I was like, oh God, because I thought I could stay up there with him, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to go so swell. That tore me up. That, and then like all those little sentimental things, the memories, like you'd go on location. That's why I haven't filmed in here either, because we were filming videos together in here, and I was like, there's no way I can do any kind of video right now. I'll just be crying the whole time. And so that's pretty much what I was doing the first 2 days. Just everywhere I went, everything I did was just crying. Like, it would just stop me in my tracks. I'd be going to sleep or something, and I had the broom in my hand, and then all of a sudden, like, a memory, like, oh, we slept together or whatever, blah, 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 you know, and I mean, just, I'd have to hold on to the counter as best as I could. I mean, it was just horrific. You know, some people probably be like, okay, well, you're just a crybaby, you're just crying too much, and you need to let your child, you know, be blah, blah, blah. But, you know, like I said, it's a unique, special, specific type bond that me and my little man have. And so right now we're both having to learn how to be apart like this. And especially with him, he doesn't, like, for instance, this is a perfect example. I think about 5 days in after his femur was broken to the hospital, he finally looked at me and started crying. And he was pushing on me and everything, and I could feel he understood now. Like, my leg hurts, something's wrong, I can't do things like I normally did, because he hadn't cried that whole time. He doesn't know how to cry. That killed me when that happened. I'm going to try to not cry on camera too. It was one of those moments that I knew he understood. And it was really hard. I was trying to hold him and console him and all of that. But yeah, so that's why I'm hoping maybe with this autism recovery stuff, once we get back on it, that hopefully it's going to help him further mentally, you know, understand things, because he's got to release. Like, that's why I just cried and cried and cried. But when I first got here, I knew, don't hold it in. Don't hold it in. It's not going to do me any good, because that's all I used to do. I would hold in and hold in. Even if I wanted to hold in or not, I couldn't have. There's no way. It was coming out regardless. So, but yeah, so I'm going to do some, as soon as I can get a little more strength. Like, for instance, you know how, like, if you have this kind of belief, how cats help absorb negative energy and things like that. Literally, from day one, since I've been back, they have been literally everywhere. At my side, like up here, at my side, at my feet, like nonstop, just surrounding and all over me. And so that's been helping me too, because I can literally feel a difference. I've also got to do some crystal type work on myself, some energy healing, different things as well. Really new noun. Hold on a second. God. Anyway, of course she moves a little more. No, really? God. It's that time of year where they're shedding and stuff. Anyway. But yeah, so I'm trying to remember what I was saying before I got interrupted with that. But yeah, so once, I don't remember what I was saying, but basically once I start getting adjusted, I'll be making videos again. I'm going to be doing reading. Oh, that's what it was. I'll get back to that in a minute because I do want to talk about that. But yeah, so I definitely got to do some emotion code healing sessions on me, which is energy work. I got to do that with Michael as well because of our traumas and things that we went through recently. I got to also do, which I need to finish that course, my body code course. I got to get that certificate. Really, my meow? And so I will have to be working on that as well as soon as I can. Right now, I've just kind of been like, I don't care about any courses or anything right now. I don't care. I just want to take care of Mike, you know. But once I get back in that kind of frame of mind, I'll be doing that, the body code and all that too. I got to get that certification as well. So I'm hoping that that's definitely going to help us. It should help us energetically, emotionally, maybe physically as well. In fact, it will help physically too, because we can store energy and trauma. Like how he fell, he could have stored some energy, trauma, and all that into the femur and everything too. So I won't know because, you know, he can't tell me, but the least that I can do is do the work, and I'll find out that way. I'm hoping to be able to do the work soon on both of us. It's just slowly getting somewhat better. I'm just kind of beat down easier than usual. Usually I could pull myself back up and this, that, and the other. Of course, that was when my little man was home, but now that he's not, now I'm adjusting, transitioning, just like he is, trying to find new ways. I know that there's a lot of positives with this. I know it sounds pretty morbid or whatever, but there is some positives with these changes and things that are happening. I know it is. When these type of things happen, it usually is positive changes with it as well. Sometimes even more positive changes than so much learning lessons and things like that. It just really depends. But with how close and bonding that we were, I think it's going to help us to not separate, but have a more healthier and boundary and type of thing than what we were. It was too, you know, like I said, that soul level and everything. We have to, I think, learn to balance it out in a healthy type of way. And it's going to be really hard to do. It's, I think, also because of him being special needs and he can't speak and all of that, it made me that much more Mother Hubbard or whatever you want to call it, protecting him and, you know, things like that, because he can't communicate and let me know, hey, somebody hurt me and this, that, and the other, because that's always been my fear. And then especially bringing him to a nursing home, that was my biggest fear too. Like, oh great, now somebody's going to harm him. But that's why I had to go up there and see for myself too, that like, okay, maybe that won't happen. I'm communicating with the people that are helping take care of him and, you know, things like that. And I can tell, like, some of the nurses and stuff, like, majority of them are fine. Like, they're understanding of the situation. But the young ones, I can feel their little judgment and, you know, their anger and their hate and all that, you know, towards me. And I'm like, dude, I've been raising my boy by myself this whole time. And so I don't need your nasty energy sent my way and things like that, your judgment and everything. And I understand, when you're young, you're learning, you're going to be judgmental. I don't care who you are. You can say you're a saint, you can say that you're perfect or whatever, but we all came from that when we were in our 20s. And so we have like different cycles and things that we go through with the different ages and all of that as well. So I've been there, I've done it, I understand. But it just hurts to be on the receiving end of it, you know, but that's what compassion is for. You got to understand these things. You got to have compassion with it. There's no sense in, you know, well, I know what you're doing, so I'm going to send some nasty stuff, daggers back, you know. Now, I will have to cleanse myself from their daggers, though, for sure, that they're unawareingly putting in me, but once I do that, it'll, you know, like I said, everything will slowly keep getting better. But yeah, I just hope that they learn themselves to understand, to control their impulses, their anger, from trying to get snippy or anything, with me. I understand the passion to protect people and, things like that. That's what I've done all my life with my little man. I've been overprotective. And so, like I'm saying, these changes and everything will make, hopefully, a healthier change and positive direction for us. I really feel it will. It's hard to accept from going from my little man home with me every day to now having to be there. I don't want him there for the rest of his life. I'm just hoping that this autism stuff program works, along with we can get him the proper healing. Like I said, I want his femur to thoroughly heal and everything with the rod, because he's got a whole rod going all the way through from the hip area just about all the way down the leg. So it's a titanium rod going down the femur. And so while the femur's trying to heal as well, I'm hoping that, like I said, while we get him to a certain point for that, maybe with this recovering autism program that I'm doing, maybe I can get him to understand, okay, now we got to work on your ingrown toenail. We got to get that fixed. Let that heal. And then I'm going to go by, is he steady walking? Is this program stuff working for him? If I'm able to get all of this done, because they're going to sneak things for him that he's not supposed to be eating or drinking and things like that too. So, and there's going to be times where I'm sick that I'm not going to be up there, So, but anyway, so hopefully we can do it that way, and maybe within a year or something he can come back home. I really want to be sure, though, that he is more recovered from the autism, not just the physical, the femur and ingrown toenail thing, but mentally with the autism program and stuff. I'm really hoping to see more progress if I can get us on it and steadily on it as much as possible. Maybe by then I will feel safer to bring him back home, because the problem is the type of tile that I have on this floor, like there's no carpet in here, and it's these specific type tiles that when it's wet you will fall, type of tile. And so I'd have to get them to put railing and stuff in the bathroom. Like there's a lot of work that would have to be done before I would feel confident bringing him back home. I do want to figure something out with that porch, because I noticed the first day when I came to look at this house, when I was walking up to come through the area where he fell at, it did some vertigo, because it's like the way that the concrete is, it's not a good steady type walk. Granted, he was coming out, but it's still a dip. And the more I thought about it, because we had all been sleeping for a few hours, the cats had been in the house. As soon as you open any door, wherever you're at any door, they're going to fling out that door. So I'm not thinking, I'm just like, because we just literally woke up, and I'm just like, well, trash coming tomorrow. It'll be early in the morning. Let me hurry and get the trash out before it gets too late out there. Because then, I worry about waking my neighbors up and things like that. So I was like, since it's 7-something now, let's hurry up and get this trash out before I forget. And I want to keep it quiet enough for my neighbors. And so I grabbed the bags, and I'm not thinking, because I had laid in the bed maybe a minute or two. And then Michael woke up too. So it had only been a few minutes, even if, like I said. So we go out the door. The cats are jetting out at the same time. He has this habit, like I did too. I don't know why, but I had to be number one. Like if we had the school bus line, I had to be number one. Michael, at home, of course, in his comfort zone, he has to be number one like me. And I was like, oh, that's a unique trait. Why are we like that, But he's the same way as me. I wasn't thinking. And so I was like, well, I just want to hurry and get this trash out. I want to hurry and go back in, make some coffee. Let's get some things done. So that's whenever I had both trash bags. I head out the door, and then basically he was following behind me. And I didn't see everything that had happened. And like I said, I know that the cats were jetting out. I do know he had an ingrown toenail, and I do know that we had just woke up. So I think it's a combination of things, and he wanted to probably be in front of me too. Because like I said, he's got that habit just like me. I don't know why I was like that, but he does. And so I feel it was a combination of all of those things basically is what led to his fall. Because he didn't get to get in front of me, he didn't get to hold a trash bag, and the cat's jetting out, and the ingrown toenail. But like I said, a week before that, he did fall in the tub, and so maybe he might have fractured it or something in the tub, because the way that he did fall and bend and stuff, it didn't look right. It just didn't completely break then. So I'm thinking that might have been the start of when he fell and everything in that tub. I think that might have weakened the bone there, and then that's when the week after that, that's when he did that outside. If there's any more to say about that, I will be mentioning it. But I did want to mention about my videos as far as updates for that. Like I said, I can't really give a time frame or how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do my service work. But I do know that I think still I'm pretty confident I'll be working on the courses. Just I don't know when. I'll get back into that. Let me see, the courses, I want to do like oracle cards and like not just do like oracle card readings, but also make my own. Like the things that I'm creating and making, I still want to do, but I don't know yet. I don't know when I'm going to get back into it and all the info and everything, but of course along the way, I will be definitely letting y'all know. Service-wise, I am going to get back into that. I will be doing live videos and things like that, but until I know that he can be in there, I probably won't be doing live videos of that because I don't want to start something and then find out I can't do it. I've already had too much of that all my life. So, that's why I'm holding off too, along with, like I said, I'm trying to use this time to recover emotionally and mentally and things like that as well. And I need to do the autism stuff, recovering for that as well. But anyway, so yeah, so I do want to get back into doing oracle card readings, mediumship readings, psychic readings. Not so much psychic readings. I just don't like to, I don't know, anything can change at any moment for that. That's why I really don't. Now, if it comes in that way, yes. If somebody asks me to do it and it's not coming in that way, no, I'd rather not. I don't want to push an answer and things like that either. That's just going to be an answer, you know. If it's coming in really, because that's what I try to tell my clients stuff too. Let whatever information come in. If you let that come in, that's going to be what is needed. If you're trying to force answers, you're probably not going to get the answers just yet until the time is right, until you're ready to hear those answers. Everything has to be lined up for those answers to come in those specific type of ways. So I don't like forcing answers. And so that's why I want to try to make, when I can get back to it, like I said, I'll be updating like my website. If I still use that website, I might end up using my Miller Lite. They have like a website kind of like thing. I'd have to use either Etsy to sell from. I don't know. I don't know all of these answers yet, and I wished I knew so I could tell y'all. But either there'll be some changes or certain things will still be used, and I'll know how to use it and what will be used and all that. I just haven't had the time to sit down and figure all this out. I will when the time is right. And so, of course, the video ends up longer than what I was hoping for it to be. But anyway, because I'm looking at the time. Sorry about that. Trying to keep this video short so I can upload it everywhere as quick as possible. But yeah, so one quick thing too, no, I'll go back into that in a minute. Maybe that'll be part of my ending conversation. So yeah, so definitely be on the lookout from my Facebook pages to my YouTube, to any area that I can go live. Like TikTok, Instagram, I can't because I think you have to have so many followers or something like that. But I will try to use maybe the YouTube and Facebook pages to do the live readings and things like that as well when I get back into it. Real quick though, and as far as these type of videos, the teaching and the this, that, and the other, his channel and stuff, I'm going to find a way to still show the naturally recovering autism stuff. I just got to figure how I can do the videos there without sharing so much information, the nurses and, things like that. I don't know how I'm going to do about that yet, but we will. Maybe I could get him outside or something, and I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I will probably have to, maybe even if I just take pictures and just talk about what he's done, what they're saying he's doing, things that I observe or whatever, I will figure a way to keep his videos going for his channel too. It just might not be as frequent as I was trying to do. This could be maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. I don't know yet. But depending on the progress and what he's doing as well is how I'll be doing his videos. So every one of my YouTube channels will be back. Like I said, I just don't know when. We'll figure these changes along the way together, basically. And what's going to happen and all of that. Because I know that if he's home soon, I probably won't be able to make videos unless he's asleep, and then even then I'll be scared of him waking up and falling and things like that too. So God, the more I think about it, yeah, because his leg was twisted in a weird way when he fell in that tub. That had to be the start of it. It had to have, because my guides are like still guiding me about that. Like, I've had no time. Like, it's been high anxiety. I've had no time to sit and think and figure things out at all. It's just been hurry, 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 rush, rush, rush. What can be done? And then brain shuts down and cries and, like that kind of thing. Like, I just have not been here. I'm not myself at all right now. I got a lot of healing to do before I can do any kind of healing as well for y'all when I come back to doing that, type of service work and stuff. So, and I know that they have like those sayings, like people fighting through the storms and this, that, and the other. Well, sure, that's fantastic that you're still trying to help others while you're going through your storm, but you might want to be a little more healed before trying to help others, because you can actually cause a little more harm and things like that. I understand that it's the strength is what is trying to be the motivational aspect of it. And you definitely want that. You definitely do. Of course. As far as like with my service work and being a spiritual life coach and all of that kind of stuff, speaking in that type of term, I'm not sitting here trying to just randomly say things, but in that kind of way, yeah, you definitely want to take that time out to heal and things like what I'm trying to do before I even try to attempt. Because our judgment, our emotions, and this, that, and the other is going to be in a different place than what it usually would be when we're more on, can't really say normal track because there's always changes, there's always lessons, and this, that, and the other. More on a not so traumatic or whatever you want to call it type path that's been happening, changes, and this, that, and the other, transitionings, and da-da-da-da, So yeah, so just a helpful little tip is all that I just wanted to say. Even if it's just a confirmation for you or an awareness or whatever, just hopefully it's helpful is why I'm mentioning it. I do apologize though for looking the way that I do. Usually I try to make my appearance a little bit better, but it just kind of puts you in that frame of mind of like, I don't care what's going on around me, things like that. But I can tell today is a little bit of a better day for the first time, So I'm hoping also that now that it's back to the weekday, that they'll have more distractions for him because it's more busier Monday through Friday. The weekends it slows down, and I could tell it's been affecting him too over the weekend. So, like I said, because we're that connected, and so I can literally sense a lot of things. And so I'm hoping maybe this week will help while he's learning as well. That we both learn what's needed and that can be helpful. So yeah, I'm gonna pause the video, I guess, and just think on if there's anything else that needs to be said or what. And they keep guiding me to like pull a card, but I don't know if I really should. It might be pertaining to my situation, and maybe it's a reminder of something I'm supposed to be talking about, and therefore I can maybe have some sort of helpful advice or something for it. I don't know. But I guess we'll go ahead and do that because they keep drawing my attention there. I don't think it's to those. It should be to this deck. And I don't even know if it's going to be helpful or not. It'll be, if it'll show it. It's not going to show it. It's Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle cards. Maybe from a distance it'll... Oh. There we go. That's the guidebook, but that's what it would look like. We'll do the usual where I can't see it because that's the front. Just in case if it's an extra comfort. You're really going to put your head on my camera. I hope she don't mess it up. She's like leaning her head on my camera right now. So, but anyway, hopefully this is helpful. I don't want it to be for me. I don't like the vibe of this one. I'm going to put that to the side. Just in case if it's not that one. So we'll have these two. What's that do now? Okay, the one that I said the vibe's like funky is the Ever Unfolding Rose. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Exactly what I'm saying. Kind of see it a little bit. I'll go ahead and read both because you might have something similar going on in your life. Usually when we watch these videos, we're going to, especially with the deeper awareness, openness and things that you are, you're going to resonate with things in your life, video wise and things like that. Whatever it is, whatever type of message it is for you, you're going to resonate with it. So something similar like this is either happening in your life or fixing to happen in your life, and that it's a heads up for you and awareness, type of thing. Okay. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. That's a beautiful one. Trying to get it where you can kind of see it a little bit at least. Can't read it, but you can kind of see it. Okay, so it's definitely these two. If you put those together, it's definitely in a form of ascension, because of the changes, the positiveness, the healing, the recovering. There's, like I said, a lot of positive things that I do feel coming from this. It's just unfortunate events and stuff, very much unfortunate, but everything does pan out for a reason. And so, but yeah, it's definitely a form of ascension for sure with these two cards together like that. Okay, so I went right to it. Good. So, okay, the Ever Unfolding Rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. If I feel anything else extra from it, either during or after reading this guidebook, I'm going to go ahead and mention it like I usually do in most of my Oracle card readings. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it, to let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open, no matter how much it hurts, to continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. And then work your light, and then everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. Tell me that ain't so true. That's exactly what I'm saying, and being guided before doing this card reading and everything and all of that. That's exactly what's going on. And, it's just one of those things, like when you do some readings and things like that too, you start kind of getting connected with your guides and everything like that. It just kind of naturally happens to where when you're reading for yourself in a way, then in time, when you're pulling these cards, it's just that extra confirmation for you that you were already being guided and led to, yeah. I can't find the right word right now, but yeah, that's exactly. And the Pleiades one, we're going to find out for that, but I do know that both of those together, for sure, like I said, is a form of ascension, basically like what I just read and everything. It's happening for us, not to us, kind of thing, So hopefully some words and stuff in there as well, and what I'm talking about, anything. I'm just hoping it's helpful for you too. I don't know if she's got them in order. No, I don't think she does. Let me find I just got lucky with that one. I'm glad that I chose to pull this because it definitely fits everything basically that I'm saying. Pleiades, there we go, 118. We're getting closer. Dang, so it was near the end. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. Double mission. So, Pleiades. Double mission. Channeling and uplifting humanity. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. And real quick, Pleiadians are star beings, meaning in the universe, meaning they have a specific star planet, I can't remember, that they come from, that some people in their, don't really want to say DNA, gene, I don't know the proper way of wording it, but in the soul or whatever, basically, could be from an incarnation from being a Pleiadian. We could be several or a few or one, depending on how new the soul is or how old the soul is, but we could be from different past lives, different type of beings, different type of things. So I just wanted to kind of, because some people would be like, Pleiadian, who's that? What's a Pleiadian? Star thing, huh? What? So just wanted to kind of clarify that. It's definitely worth checking into for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and reread, except for that one part. I'm just going to reread, and then we'll go from there. So the Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnated on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission, to grow at soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest And so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. Work your light transmissions. Hold the card on your heart and say, I call upon Palladian consciousness of the highest realms and highest good of humanity to work light through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. That's beautiful. But yeah, there were certain parts that stood out. Like for me, even before my little man's injury, I have been questioning, am I doing, like, is my soul work, like, everything that I'm doing, my services and this and the other, like, is that what I'm meant to do? Am I meant to do this to the side, and am I meant to work somewhere else? I don't know. I don't know what to do, but all I do know is that if I do, because I've been working so hard at this, the only thing that I'm guided to do is maybe try to do this, because I will have to get an income, unfortunately. I was doing readings and stuff like this for free, and I probably will still have chances to be able to do that for free. But I will have to start doing them for donation and paid readings and healings and things like that. Every service thing that I do, I am going to have to start getting an income, unfortunately, because places where my son is at is god-awful expensive, and doing the recovering stuff is expensive, and, you know, things like that. So I am going to need help, hopefully back from the community, as well as what I have been given and stuff is what I'm hoping for. If not, my plan pretty much is I'll do this for a little bit. If it just doesn't pan out, maybe some point in some later time in my life, I'll come back to it. I'll just have to either try to see maybe if I can either open a business or have to work somewhere or whatever. I don't know what the future holds, but I've been questioning, do I do this type of work? And so for me, that's what this card is trying to tell me to continue to do, because that's been on my mind for a while again. And if you're kind of in the same boat, because I know a lot of people have been being kind of pushed around and kind of rocky feelings and things like that as well. Like, am I doing, you know, the service work? Is it for me? Is it for my path? Am I supposed to do something else? You know, a lot of us have been having a lot of shaken up faith and beliefs, and service works and this, that, and the other has been shaken up a lot. And so if you've been going through that as well, hopefully that card also kind of helps to, if you've been sensing like, yeah, it feels like that's what I'm supposed to do, but I don't know, you know, and then you come across this video and you see that reading, you know, then yeah, it's definitely helping confirm for you. Pretty much similar like me, you know, at least give it a try. If it don't pan out the first time, it's okay. Maybe it's meant to later on. Maybe you're meant to work somewhere else or something, or do something else for the time being, and then go back to it, you know, when you feel like, okay, I'm being guided to go back to it again. Let's see how this happens, and then try it again, you know, even if it's just a part-time job for you. Oh, I gotta get this room clean because my allergies, I can tell, are pretty bad. I'm trying to get cleaning. I'm trying to get things done. And while I was gone, we had added a new cat as well. It was still a sister to the other sisters that we got, but we added her, and she still wasn't potty trained. And then this happened. I had to go to the hospital, so she's been leaving me a lot of love chunks everywhere, and we had to get a painter's brush and things like that, painter scraper thing. And so when I can, I want to get to it, but right now we're trying to focus on at least getting the yard cut, the grass cut, and then I got to get the get other parts of the garden and stuff going when I can. I don't know, but anyway, so as far as this, but yeah, hopefully that helps confirm for you as well, whatever it is that you're needing. And it does give me hope to, I guess, to keep trying to do what it is that I'm doing. I do know that while I'm going through this as well, it is definitely teaching me a lot. What was it? It was something last night I was thinking about, like, I've had so many users in my life that they would always do the sob story, and so it would automatically put up a defensive wall. And I'm just like, okay, I'll be compassionate still, I'll hear you out and I'll listen and everything, but my wall's up. Whether you feel it or not, it's up. And going through this is reminding me like how, like that first card, about keeping your heart open and everything and opening your heart. It's teaching me like, okay, if the person's using me or not or whatever, it don't matter. I don't need to have that wall up, because all that's really doing is causing more harm than good. Because when I'm hearing the person, because like my mom, she was fantastic at the sob stories and other people. And so, like I said, it built that wall up. But I need to deepen the compassionate level and things like that when I'm hearing people, instead of putting the wall up, blocking them out, and like, okay, whatever, they can, they're probably lying to me, this, that, and the other. Let them deal with whatever they got to deal with. But I'll hear you, and, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I'm not going to sit there and go overboard for you and things like that like I used to do back in the day for people that used me. And but it's teaching me a different type of way to still have an open heart, but don't let it be bled and let people use me the way that it used to be. But finding a way to hear them out a little bit deeper like I used to do. Just, like I said, it's a fun balancing act. But that is one of the things that I'm relearning again right now. And these cards are definitely helping me with what I've been sensing and things like that too. It's definitely confirming with me. I'm going to pause the video. If there's anything else, I'll mention it. If not, then we'll end it. Alright, Les. I thought about it. There's nothing else that at the moment that's coming through for me to mention. And so, like I said, be on the lookout for videos and different things. I will keep y'all updated as well. And I do want to get back to the service work and all that. And but that's pretty much, like I said, as far as my plan right now. I'll try doing some of the service work, donations and paid and things like that. And then, like I said, any chance that I can get, maybe I'll do some free for sure to still help. But now I really need to be able to, unfortunately, be able to rely on being paid for my services and stuff this time. That's just how it is. Maybe this is a new learning venture for me as well, being able to say, hey, I need to be able to be taken care of too. Can you please help me out, as I'm helping you out? It's just teaching me. So, because I've never felt comfortable with wanting to be paid and all of that either. But I do know that with this day and age, unfortunately, that's how things are. We have to get paid as well. And then, like back then, we used to live in tribes and things like that, and we would be doing the services for the community that we lived in, and we were taken care of, we were provided a roof, we were provided food, this, that, the other, while we did the services and everything free, So it was like a give-take kind of thing. We don't live in that time no more, and so now we have to eat. I mean, unless we want to die, because we can't eat, we can't afford to live and be homeless and this, that, and the other. That's just the huge change, from back then. And so it makes it rough because a lot of us struggle with this. Like, do I ask for payments? How do I do this? Because I want to do this for free, and it's like a habit from our soul in the past lifetimes to do this service for free. And it's like, it's so easy to be like, I'll do it for free. And I did. That's what I was doing a few years ago and stuff. And so it was like no payments. It was just constantly free. And like I said, unfortunately now, this is where we're at. This is how we're living. So I don't feel as bad asking for donations, being paid or whatever. Because I have to tell myself, this is how we're living these days. We have to have an income too. So we can't just give our time and our energy and, things like that just for free, just to give. Feels great, but am I going to be able to eat after that? Am I going to have this roof over my head? Now I'm in a situation where can I afford to my child to be given the best care that he can get right now? It is what it is. So anyway, okay. I will either see y'all soon or something. I'm not quite sure. I'll get myself back. Well, can't say back. It'll be better. Whatever version it is, it's going to be better. That's why this is happening, and thankfully the cards even confirmed it too. So it'll be better. It's just going to take a little time to get there. And so, yeah. So again, hopefully for you, that's also helpful for you. Because you might be, like I said, kind of like me, questioning, do I do the service work? Do I do something else? And that Pleiades card is definitely, helping about, raising the vibration, this, that, and the other. Not everybody is on that path. So let's say you feel that card's for you, but the message not so much. But you feel like it does pertain to something to that card. What I'm being guided to say also is that whatever type of method of services that you do, that's definitely for you. It's just confirming for you. Whether you have the belief of the high vibration kind of thing, uplifting humanity, whether it be you're behind a computer doing service, whatever job it is, in whatever type of fashion and way and everything, it is for you. It doesn't have to necessarily have that kind of meaning. For me, it hits me on a personal level because I am a spiritual person and because of what I'm going through and all of that. So it does, for me, apply that away. So however it applies for you is definitely for you. It's just confirming for you. Because like I said, you could just be like, man, it feels like the card's confirming for me, but it's not me. That's not what I do. So do know that it's still for you, just not necessarily maybe the specific meaning, but it is meaning that the services that you are doing is intended for you, at this time, at least, anyhow. So yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I'm just kind of letting them... I'm glad I'm even able to be guided and stuff, because like I said, I've pretty much been shut down and just kind of living life, just living it. Because I want to recover and heal and things like that and get better and be able to come back in a, I guess, like I said, kind of in a way, newer version, in a sense, updated version or whatever of myself. This will help me with my services as well, for sure. Like I was just talking about with my heart opening and, things like that, helping me to get my compassionate ways back and things like that. Because when you're beat down like that and you're just like, man, I'm all alone going through this, and there's a lot of people that are struggling going through that as well, and they really need help, and whether they voice it or not, but they're feeling it big time internally and things like that, I understand how that feels. And so it's going to hopefully help me to dig deeper and think deeper of how could this person be feeling, what could they be going through, and help me to better share compassion, do some services or whatever for the person, instead of, oh God, here we go again, somebody whining and complaining about something else. Okay, let me see what I can do to try to help them. Because it does, you get burnout, you get to that point, especially when you've been used all your life and things like that. You're just like, who do I trust? Who do I give my compassion to? This, that, and the other. And then while I'm going through this right now, it's just like, it's definitely deepening my different levels of awareness and compassion and things like that. So hopefully it's going to help improve me more. Maybe that's part why the services and everything was shutting down, because I was building such a wall that maybe people were feeling that too, like, oh man, this person ain't compassionate. Even though I am compassionate, it's just the wall is just like, I don't know if I'll get the care and stuff that I need from this person because that wall is so thick. Maybe that was part why, that's what I'm being guided anyhow. So maybe But yeah, if you relate to any of that as well, like I said, hopefully anything out of that helps you along with the further guidance that you're getting personally from your guides right now at the moment. Will continue to guide you to your answers and what you need to do as well. Yeah, I feel like I need to pull from that deck, but I'm like, no, because the video's already an hour and 9 minutes long, so I don't know. I don't know if I pull one card. I'm trying to get to end this video, but it's kind of a good thing because it's helping me think more, be guided more, and things like that anyway. So it's going to be helpful in the long run, I can tell. But I do know, I guess, one. Come on. So it'll be this deck. I'm trying to get it. It is Sacred Light Oracle Ascension Cards for the Spiritual Seeker by Anna Stark. Alright, hopefully I can do just one. So I can try to end the video after this. But it's definitely a big time guidance one, I feel. As far as helping with the messages or whatever. I think it's this one. Temple of Mary, emotional expression, playful innocence, exploitation. I'll just have to, because if you have this deck or whatever, at least that way you can see what it looks like and stuff. Alright, so hopefully this is another helpful thing. I had a feeling it was going to end up some oracle cards, but I didn't know for sure. But it did. Alright, so Temple of Mary. So emotional expression, playful innocence, exploitation. An organ of deep knowledge and wisdom, your heart links your consciousness and soul as one being. Receiving this divine love can be an intense and heart-awakening experience. This divine expansion communicates these interactions via your heart's feeling. Its emotional expression is essential to give and receive love fully. The Temple of Mary is guarded fiercely. Those that choose to enter must be ready to free their hearts from love restrictions. With humility and grace, the Divine Mother can help you identify any wounds connected to mother figures with loving support. She inspires your soul to love deeper and surrender to the innocence of your inner child. Residing on the fifth ray of healing, the Divine Mother Mary assists the children of earth to evolve their heart to free individuals from emotional pain and burden. If unconditional love wasn't given to you as a child, it may be difficult to accept who you are and others without conditions. Left unhealed, these wounds affect future relationships and acceptance of love, leaving your generous heart open to exploitation. Divine Mother Mary asks you to be receptive and expanding into new levels of love. Get the tissues ready. Still spot on. Goodbyes will seem to last forever, and empathic connections will bring newfound friends. Long-distance travel, relationship issues, and natural life transitions will also influence friendships and relationships. Your heart is heavy. Love and be loved. Be at peace, child. Ascension Master Divine Mother Mary. Sacred crystal is morganite. Affirmation: I release my personal prejudice. I accept others the way I accept myself. There's not much that I have to say. I mean, it's pretty much, again, spot on, everything that I'm saying. And so I really do hope it helps you as well, because I know that, like I said, with these readings and everything, we all resonate to it, how we're going to resonate to them, and it's going to affect us, how we're going to be affected. And so I hope and wish that your guidances continue to be clear for you through this as well, that you're still being guided with clarity and the answers and everything that you've been seeking and needing as well. And when the time is right, if you do ever feel that maybe I am a reader for you or whatever, and that maybe anything that I could do, for you reading wise and stuff, once my services are available, I'll let y'all know where they're at and how much and all that kind of stuff, and we'll go from there. But I do want to make sure, like I said, that I do know that he's kind of in there for the moment. We got to get all that sorted out first. And once I figure that stuff out, I will give it a shot again with my services. And we'll go from there and see from there what I'm intended and meant to do and stuff. So, but I do hope this was helpful. I already want to apologize too in case if you're going through something similar with one of your loved ones, you know, whether they be in a hospital, nursing home, or whatever. I can now understand a little bit on a deeper level as I'm still learning this. Like I said, you know, with my son, with these kind of situations and stuff, I can understand a little bit more now that what it can kind of feel like. Like we're still never going to be in each other's shoes, but we can at least say, hey, I know how that felt. I can remember how that felt. I can sympathize. I can this, I can that, you know. And so it's opening up more for me, for my readings and my services and stuff, or the type of services that I do. I'll keep learning along the way with y'all what it is that I'm needing to learn, and hope that everything keeps improving. What was that? Anyways, I think that's it for now. So this is definitely going on all of our YouTube channels. Might even go on, if it'll go on Instagram and other places. It probably won't. It's too long of a video. It should be too long. Yeah, I think so. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it. I gotta soon kind of get outside and start getting back into the yard and all of that today, and go from there. Yep, I will be definitely seeing y'all soon-ish. Just please know that a lot of the stuff, like I said, because it's going on the different channels, YouTube channels, some pertain to just Michael and our recovering autism program, his tablet as well. But like I said, unfortunately, I'm putting this update on all of the channels. So this is also what I do on my other two YouTube channels. And so if you're new to my channels or new to seeing this type of video on the other two channels that I have on there with my son, basically. So yeah, I'll try to maybe explain this at the beginning. I usually try to do things like that, like maybe have the explanation at the beginning, because if you're watching this video and it's said all the way at the end, then it's like, oh, okay, you know. But instead, I try to at least warn people ahead of time, like, hey, this is not the usual video. This is going on all of my YouTube channels, blah, blah, blah. All right. Yep, that should be it. So, I greatly appreciate y'all watching, sharing, liking, commenting, everything that y'all basically do for us. I truly do appreciate that. I know my little man does too, and hopefully we'll get some videos and stuff going with him again as well. And even if it's done in a different way, if I have to take pictures of him or something and just talk about things or whatever, we'll figure out how these are going to be, and we will figure out also how I'm going to do the services and everything too. Hopefully now things will improve with that. It's probably some of the lessons that I had to learn recently too, to help improve my services and stuff too. I'm pretty confident so, because when we get to that point of closing off and everything spiritually and through our hearts and everything, it does block a lot of what I've been trying to do. At the same time, it was hard for me when he's home to do these services, because my time and energy and everything and attention's all on him, making sure everything's going good for him, that he's safe, you know, etc., etc. And then the times that I felt to do videos when he was home, he would either distract himself with his game, or he would be sitting right here beside me. And so I always use my intuition when to make videos. Oh, man. But anyway, I will be back. And I will see y'all with whatever type of video is going to be on this channel that you're on. And we'll see it together. She's going to push the camera because she's moving around. So I better go ahead and end it. All right. Again, seriously, I appreciate y'all watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, everything that y'all seriously do. If you know of somebody also, if you're on that specific YouTube channels that is also looking for a naturally recovering autism type program for their child, grandchild, however it is for them, you can share those videos as well. Maybe that could be helpful for them as well. That's the whole point of that channel, and that I'm hoping that I can reach out to others and show that, hey, even if they can't fully recover, at least any kind of recovering for them, whether they can get a few words out, express a little bit more, whatever that could be helpful for them. Hopefully, you know, those videos will be helpful with that. I can't wait to get back into that because that really does help. But anywho, yeah, we'll be getting back into those. I will probably have to do, I guess, I was still going to do the cooking videos that I was talking about doing, like the diet change for this naturally recovering autism program. We have to pretty much come up with our own meals. We already know what to look out for, what to not use, this, that, and the other. And so I'm learning along the way myself. And so hopefully I can make dishes that taste decent. Once I get around to that, I will be making videos of that. I had hoped that Michael would be here, but maybe at first he won't be. Maybe in time he'll be in the videos with me because he loves to cook too. So a lot of the videos that I said that I was going to do, the gardening and everything, I'm getting back to all of that. I can't tell you when. I can't say a month from now, 2 months from now. You know, I just can't give that kind of information, unfortunately. So, but yeah. Anyway. Okay, sorry, just more keeps coming to my mind. But anyway, thank you for watching. All that you do. Sending you much love, gratitude, and thanks. Bye for now.